Hey, folks, we're starting the show today here. We got some quick stuff going on here. Yesterday we had a car show going on in front of the White House. There was a car show going on. It was selling. We didn't come to selling cars on the White House lawn. Oh my goodness, we we're selling cars on the White House lawn. People, we getting desperate. Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
What is the real unemployment? How many people really working today?
We'll find out on the show. Continue to listen, people. Bye bye.
Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome to the show today. Today is, I guess it's Wednesday today. I'm getting lost, man. These days are running close together here. It's Wednesday, and we have quite a few things to talk about here. I'm very interested in stuff, and maybe if some of you guys and stuff would comment to us about what's going on in the Department of Education.
Ooh,
Why is this man deciding that he wants to get rid of the Department of Education? I don't understand. We want to educate our children. We don't want them not to be educated. And it looks like that's what he wants. He doesn't, I guess he's grabbing each one of those agencies and stuff and just saying, well, we're going to get rid of them. So I guess her name is what, Linda Mahone or Mahan or Mahal or whatever her name is. She's well known for wrestling. She was a wrestler. Anyway, she's the cabinet member for the Department of Education. And so now she's wrestling. She's wrestling the Department of Education because that's the only qualification that I know of. She used to be a wrestler.
no, her husband was the owner of one of those
Yeah, no,
WWEs or something like that,
yeah, one of the
and
federations.
she
Yeah,
was a co-owner. I don't know if she wrestled or not, but
yeah, she did.
I
They had her on there for a show.
yeah, I
They put
seen
a
on
show on
in the
for her.
ring, in the ring,
This was a long time ago now, but they had her on there for a show. They had her on there with a tag team with another woman.
that means she's a toughie, boy. You better not mess
Hey
with her.
man, hey, it was showtime. They were doing everything they could, along with the grifter in chief. He was out there with them too, trying to sell red wrestling stuff. Oh man,
Yeah, he's still pushing his watches and the commercials.
yeah, I heard that he was selling watches again and crosses and he's back to selling his crypto again now too. Now he trying to get his crypto back after he done after the first sale right after the election went belly up. He come out of there and stole all them folks' money and it went belly up. So he started another one. Buy my coins. Oh well. And also, Ted, something happened yesterday, and it lets you know that we got some gangsters, man, up there in the White House. Them boys are
What
gangsters.
happened?
They done gangstered that they done turned the the Republicans and the House of Representatives from herding cats into sitting out there with the boys standing on the fence and everything, and hustling them and threatening them and stuff and everything to get their votes. They went ahead and pushed it on through, and we had some old stupid Democrat and stuff that voted for him too. Some old knucklehead named Jared Golden. I don't know where he's from, but he put his little 2 cents in there even after old brother Massey, man. He stands by his guns and stuff. He didn't vote for that crap. As a Republican from North Carolina said, I ain't voting for that crap. I don't care what Trump say. But they got a dumb Democrat to help them. So they barely got it across the line. So now it's going to the Senate. And for some reason or another, those boys have been quiet. They haven't said shit about that thing coming to their death. And I
Mm.
think the reason why they're saying about it because they got to override that 60 vote. And they ain't got 60 votes and stuff in the Senate. So we'll find out if we got some knucklehead Democrats and stuff and everything that want to try to get that thing passed. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it or not. I don't know, but we shall see. We shall see, Ted, what's going to happen here. If we're going to get some fool Democrats just like Sinema and that old boy from West
Pennsylvania.
Virginia who used to be there, are they going to find a few of them and stuff in the Democratic column and stuff that are going to?
Well, you know that Pennsylvania guy might do it too. You know.
Well, he's only one. Yeah, but you're right. He might be one of them. O'Donnell. He might be one of them to go ahead and do it. But I got a sneaky suspicion that if Donald probably going to vote for it, he's probably going to get them to change some stuff and everything in that daggone bill. So it's probably going to have to go back to the House again for their vote. But for some reason or another, man, I haven't heard anything about it. Nobody said anything what the Senate's doing, and the Senate hasn't opened up, and I ain't heard nothing in the news about it. They sent it to them yesterday after they gangstered the rest of them folks to get it signed. Boy, some of them Republicans, man, I thought they were tough, man, but they showing their yellow streak down their back. They can avoid their own constituents, but they sure can't sit down there and avoid the Donald because he's gonna get them. Oh man. Ah, go ahead, Ted. That's all I got to say right now. But I got a few other things I don't want to take up the whole show, man, because I got.
Well, I'm kind of confused. What is really the really people that's not working? Because I'm looking at some statistics right here, and it says that 102,558,971 people is not in the labor force.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that must be elementary school people, grade school people, little infants, and that kind of thing. They're not working. I already know there's over 80 million kids that's going to school now. So, and then here's the thing that really baffles me is that if you have 165 million people working, well, they say 100 and full time is about 103 or 4 million people. But the thing is, you got over 28 million people part-time workers. So if you start adding all of these people, so they know everything what's going on. And the thing is that you only have a population of 340 million people. Something is wrong here. We don't have enough people here. fill the jobs. But then still they keep on saying we need more, we need more manufacturing, we need more jobs. You don't have people to fill those jobs, especially these high-tech jobs, these manufacturing jobs. Now, maybe the reason why those people working part-time workers is because they're doing, essential work or a little menial work, that kind of thing, store greasers and baggers and, little janitorial work or whatever. That's 28 million. However, here's the thing, you just mentioned education. They're getting ready to shut down the educational system. They got rid of half the workforce there. And the goal is to what? The goal is to send that money to the states.
Right.
Well, how much money? Because their budget is only I don't think their budget is no more than $90 billion. So who they gonna send it to?
Send it to the state.
To the states.
Right.
We got 51 states?
50 states, yeah. They're gonna send it, they're gonna write it up and send it to the states.
What they gonna just give them $1 billion a piece or something? $2 billion or what? What they gonna do?
Probably, yeah, probably. And then what they telling them to do is that you all get the rest of that money, y'all gotta hustle it up.
So okay, you got California got what, 40 million people?
Mm-hmm.
And their school size probably way larger than Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So how much do they get?
Same
From the
amount.
states.
They're all gonna get the same amount of money. They can write
How
it up.
much New York gonna get?
The same amount of money.
So now, so I'm just trying to help me out here because okay, now you got the states that's responsible for the schools. And let's say, okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have no more education because it was established in the 70s, by Jimmy Carter. Mm-hmm. So now that means each state is responsible for every public school.
Correct.
So now, are those schools now public schools? Are they private schools? Are they charter schools?
Whatever your state wanted to be.
Whatever they want it to be. Okay,
whatever
so
they want
now,
it to be.
if my child, let's say if I had a child in school right now, mm-hmm. I do have grandkids in school, but mm-hmm. let's say if my child was in school, Ed, mm-hmm. and they and I go to the school and I look at it, I walk around, they give me a tour, and I go to one school, which is all black neighborhood, and mm-hmm. let's say black and brown neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And then I go to an all white school and I see the whole difference. So mm-hmm. that means that because we're not getting equal access to everything that the white school got to do, that means we got to ask for more money and sue, or what's going on here?
You have to deal with your state. Yes, they already said it. The state gonna have to deal with it. We're not gonna bother no more. He already said that was his plan, to let the states deal with the educational system totally, and to take the federal government out of the equation completely. And the only thing the federal government is going to do is send these folks, they block grants, they money. They're going to send them in educational fund money, and then they're going to give it to the state, and the state decide what the heck happens.
Well, let's look at it like this. You got a 2-parent household. Mm-hmm. Both parents work. Mm-hmm. And my kid right now, he or she is not in grade school yet or elementary school. I got to send them to a daycare. Mm-hmm. So that's an expense in my pocket. Mm-hmm. So I'm paying for that.
Mm-hmm. You're paying for it anyway. Even now, you're paying for it. But the only thing that the feds and stuff were doing was some states and stuff had a Head Start program, which they started to cut out anyway a long time ago. during
So
Trump's
you're trying to
first.
tell me that there's no more Head Start, Harley?
It all depends on the state. The education of those children and stuff belongs to the state. It's their
Well,
responsibility.
I'm glad you told me that because here in Florida, now I don't know about anywhere else, but Hillsborough County, if you ride around, you can go 4 or 5 blocks. There's a daycare center.
Mm-hmm.
So these parents who are single, I mean, let's say that, two parents,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they little kids up to 4 years old or 5 years old, whatever time they go to kindergarten, they got to pay 4 years of daycare, which is
Mm-hmm.
about $400, $500, $600 every month.
Mm-hmm. No, more than that.
It's more than that now.
Mm-hmm. That's about a week.
I'm telling you, man. They want parents to work. They want people to work,
Right.
have a job, have
Right.
kids,
Right.
but yet still they got to pay for daycare for 4 or 5 years out of their pocket, besides paying for diapers and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
raising their child.
Mm-hmm. But they have one in some states they have one different things and stuff in some states. Some states have this, that if you a single parent, now the state will contribute to you sending your child to the daycare center. One parent household. Two parent household, they don't pay a dime. One
Mm.
parent household, they will help you to pay for your daycare so you can go to work. I know it happens here in Georgia. Georgia does it now. The rest of the states, I don't know, but I know Georgia does it. If it's a one parent household, it's a woman in the household, and she has one child or two child, and she wants to work, the state will give her, it will compensate her, not for the entire thing, but they will help them. They give them a stipend and stuff to help pay for child care service while they go to work.
That's amazing because, see, the point is that they want people to work full-time work. You got
Correct.
28 million people working part-time.
Correct.
So here I am, I'm married, and let's say my wife making more money than me, so I work part-time,
Mm-hmm.
so I can take care of the kids,
Mm-hmm.
take them to daycare, pick them up,
Right.
because I got a little part-time job.
Correct.
And so that means I'm making less money. Or the wife, she working part-time,
Well,
taking the
that.
daycare,
Well,
and
you have to consider and stuff now, Ted, that there also are things out there to help you to do that. Whereas when you every year when you filing your taxes and stuff, your daycare monies and stuff that you pay to the daycare is tax deductible.
all the money that I put in the daycare is tax deductible.
Tax deductible.
So that means that the daycare that's being ran is a nonprofit.
It's a profit, for profit.
So it's for
unless
profit for
unless
them.
unless they are under not for profit church thing or whatever, then yeah, they can get by with that. But you still that each one of those daycare centers and stuff have to send you a form and stuff. I forget the number of it, to let them know that this is how much you pay. If they don't give that to you and everything, when you file your IRS taxes and stuff, you have to put down who took care of your child. And if it was an individual, you have to give them their social security number. And as long as you do that, and they know that you have a child, the IRS is not going to bother you. They're going to go after that person who did not file taxes.
So now, are you trying to tell me that I'm okay? Let's say I spent $10,000 that year
Right.
for daycare.
Right.
So I get all that $10,000 tax deducted.
Tax deductible. because
Well,
the taxes now, Ted, all the IRS wants to do is collect the taxes off of that money. So if you're not paying the taxes, they're going to go to the people who took care of your child and have them to pay the taxes on that money.
okay.
That's what the IRS wants to do. They just want somebody to pay the taxes on that money. They don't care who it is. And if you got an underage child, if you filing your taxes and you putting your child down there as a dependent, and they know how old the child is because you putting their birth dates and stuff down there, they automatically know that yes, if you're working, you're going to have to take care. Somebody's going to have to take care of their child. So they automatically know that if you did that, all they want to know is who you paid the money to. That's it. If you don't tell them who you paid the money to now, you're going to have to pay the taxes on it. But you do have churches and stuff and everything who are not-for-profit uh, entities that do bring in that money and stuff and everything. And all the church has to do is declare that money and stuff and everything some kind of way. Now, how the church deals with that, I don't know. It depends on who taking care of their books.
Well, the crazy part about the whole thing is that, you know, that's a good thing, but then that still comes out of your disposable income that you have to pay for.
Right, but at the end of the year, you probably will get a tax refund back to help, to offset some of that stuff and everything. If you're a two-parent household, where if you're a single-parent household, the state's going to send you a check every month.
But if you
Now,
only making, if you're a two-parent household and you're only barely making 60,000 or 65,000,
right, they're not going to pay it because the two parents in the household.
think about it though. That ain't a lot of money.
I know it. I know it.
So, so if you're paying $10,000, $12,000 a year for, and don't have two kids
Hmm.
that have to go, because you can have
Yeah.
one that's 2 years old, and the other one's 1 year old or 3 years
Hmm.
old.
Right. Yeah.
So now you got to pay. You're paying $2,000 a month.
Probably.
So
Unless
it's
you can
almost
find
like,
unless you
and
can
the
find
person that's
somebody.
working only making, the two parents is working. Let's say if they're working full time,
Right. Then it happens, and most of the parents, and I know some of them and everything, they're scuffling around here with that dilemma and stuff. Sometimes they bring their parents in to help them to take care of the child. They do all kind of maneuvering and stuff and everything to take care of the child while the parents are working. And a lot of men are doing some very very creative child care methods and stuff and everything. Sometimes they'll let what they'll do and stuff is that one parent will work in the daytime and the other parent work in the afternoon or the midnight shift. One parent work in the day, one parent work in the afternoon. So there's a little gap and stuff in there when one parent is working and the other one going to work, that you got to find somebody to take care of your child during that period of time. But there's some creative ways and stuff of doing that, and so far most of them are doing it. But I think, Ted, that right now and stuff with the Department of Education, they are they are doing the same thing. And right now they are sending money and stuff to the states and stuff. But the Department of Education and stuff, the federal government and everything is determining and stuff rules and regulations and how the states should spend that money. And what Trump is doing and stuff and everything, and he's taking away the fact that he's telling the states and stuff, we're gonna send you the money. You deal with that money the way you want to deal with it. And we're out of the whole equation. We don't need people and stuff to tell you what to do with that money, because what is happening and stuff is that these church groups out there, the ones who are supporting Trump and everything, they want this to happen because they want their folks and stuff who are members of their church and stuff to go to start church schools, and they want them to send their kids and stuff to their church. So in essence, to doing that, they are taking it because there's rules against the church and state, and they're taking the state out of the equation other than the state government. So they don't have to worry about the federal government coming in and telling them what the heck to do about what they teach and stuff inside their church. The state, the one that has to do that. Or if the state doesn't want to do it, most of the time they do.
So what we're talking about is basically the goal is get rid of all the public schools.
Well,
Not all public schools, but they're going to, in certain portions of them, is going to be done with.
well, in actuality, Ted, I think what is going on is that these preachers and stuff and these churches and stuff are the drivers behind all this thing. We want to educate our children. So uh, once you take the federal government and their rules and regulations out of the whole thing, because the reason why the federal government was brought into the equation when Carter was there was to make sure that the kids and stuff all across the country are being treated equally instead of just individually by each state. Now he's taking that equation out and stuff and saying we don't need them. We're going to send the money to the states and let the states decide how to do it. And these churches and stuff know that once that money start coming to that state and everything, they are closer to them state people, and they can take that money and stuff and put it into to their church school, and they can still, and the rest of them folks and stuff can have their own public education.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. Now, the thing is that, and I'm talking about black people, the church on every block. You drive through most of these neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, church on every block, almost. And if every pastor decide, oh, I can get some money off of this, and they start a school.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you got to get qualified teachers. And, some of them might even have teachers that are teaching that go to their church.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some of those teachers in that church thinking that they're principals. I got a master's, all I do is teach, but I can run a school.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got all of these churches starting their schools in the black community instead of them collectively coming together. If it's a church, we talking, you have black schools that have the same beliefs, but they have different religions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the issue. And you have the people that's going to those schools, if they collectively come together and get the state money, who's going to divide that money up? And who's going to, because number one, they're going to get a bunch of money from the state.
From the federal government.
From the federal government and the state, because if they're not going to the public schools, they're going to private. So now we're talking private schools now.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the game plan on that? Those are things you talking. This might take 3, 4, 5. It might not never even happen, but it could happen. So what is the plan? Because you got to look at it like this. A lot of these YT people, churches, some of them they're already established.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about big time because they have maybe a group of churches that affiliate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have that one school for all of their parishioners.
Mm-hmm.
And they had already sat down and say, okay, this is how we're going to divide the money, blah, blah, blah. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
And if you look at what's going on down here in the South and everything, that's already going on right now. There's a lot of them down here now that are doing that. They got private schools, man, almost everywhere around here. These churches are building them. And what is going on that is some of these private schools and stuff and everything, they have people and stuff who used to go to their school and they've off to college and they big executives and stuff now. They are donating money and stuff back into their schools and stuff and everything. So man, now they're taking these donations and stuff that we see going to universities and stuff and everything, and they're taking these endowments and stuff and giving it to their schools. and they're using this endowment money and everything to build all kinds of stuff, to build huge buildings, to build their sports complexes and stuff for them, and all of that. So we probably and stuff, Ted, if things were all equal and stuff and everything, and we okay and stuff with it, it might be this thing that he's doing might just become a good idea, but it depends on how the folks and stuff in those particular states and everything deal with the money that's coming in there without the government's intervention and stuff into that. It might be a good idea if you can set up a situation and stuff within that state and everything to where that money can be used and stuff and everything the way you want it to be used to educate your child and to do what needs to be done. But we find out in this stuff though, Ted, that just like we're seeing right now in our schools and stuff down there, you got these kids going to these mostly all black schools and stuff. They're not being educated like the ones who are going to almost all white schools. And the parents are not getting involved in it. Just like you and I, we talk about every now and then. You parents, you need to get out there. You need to get involved. You need to get on the school board. You need to do this. You need to do that. If they don't do that, their kids are going to be shortchanged, and they're being shortchanged right now. And if they start giving the money and stuff to return without any government, any federal government intervention and stuff and everything, you think these kids are being treated bad now? Wait until they don't have anybody who's standing over the state to tell them what the heck to do. Those kids gonna really be in trouble.
Well, this is what I'm getting at. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is,
So if
see, I went. Look at
it's,
this. Look at what's happening. Okay. First of all, you got a problem with the daycare thing
mm-hmm,
because number one, are the daycares being overseen by the government? Because they were getting some kind of government subsidies, and at the same time, you have the mixed group, the two parents that's going to the daycare and they're paying their money, and then they'll get a tax write-off. Whereas the single mother who got two kids or three kids going to the daycare, they're getting a lot of subsidies because they have three kids so that she can go to work, or him. So the bottom line is that organization and community involvement. See, we always talk about coming together, but it starts there. Whether you are a secular person or you're supposed to be a spiritual or Christian person or whatever. And now you get all these people, that's how do you really um, start looking in the future and realizing where's the leadership in the community? There's a lot of people that say they're leaders and stuff like that, but maybe they have to look at, say, hey, where are we going here? Because see, it used to be segregation. Well, we're getting back to that.
mm-hmm,
I mean, number one, the schools are already segregated as it is. It took them a
mm-hmm,
long time to integrate, and then they integrated, and then a lot of those kids, their parents say, "Hey, I ain't sending my kids to that school. I'd rather go to a private school." And they start taking their kids to private school. Here in Hillsborough County, there are many, many private schools, from
mm-hmm,
elementary to all the way to high school. So that's something to look at, and something
mm-hmm,
that people should be planning in their community for,
mm-hmm,
if they love their kids,
mm-hmm,
if they care about their kids and their kids' education.
mm-hmm. Well, it looks like, Ted, that it is going to happen. We just going to have to deal with it when it happens because he's already half the staff and stuff there for the Department of Education is gone. He only got one more half to get rid of, and they can shut it down to that department It no longer exists. Other than this, maybe to have one or two people in there to every year to ship the money down there to the states, make
Yeah,
sure
they're
get
just gonna
they
have
get
a
their
little
checks.
skeleton crew to divvy out the money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
whether that be divvied out
they
fair.
only need one or two people. They're gonna divvy out their money to the states. Every or however they do it. If they do it every quarter, they do it every month or whatever. Then they gonna their job is to send them that money. That's it. And we no longer have a Department of Education. So
Yeah, what are they gonna do with the disabled children that they want to attend school?
that's
What
to
are they
the
going to do with the autism kids that
that's
want to go to
that's
school?
the state gonna have to deal with them. The federal
Is that
government
going to
has
be a
said that
special
they
school? Because see, that's the one thing they didn't want in school system, to have a special school. They wanted all of them to be inclusive.
hey, that's up to the state. The way it looks now is up to the state, not the federal government anymore to determine that.
All right.
So the parents gonna have to fight the states and stuff. Well, why can't my kid go to school? The state might say, "Well, I don't care. We can't afford it.
You got to pay for it.
You got to
You're on
pay
your
for
own
it. You got to
because
pay
they have
for it. You pay for your own stuff.
special
You
buses
go
for these
back. You
people.
go back to the time when you had to take when your child was at home with you. You got to take care of them. You got to just let them go to school. So there's going to be some suffering. I don't care what that man does. We have some suffering going on. If somebody going to suffer, and he just like he telling everybody, y'all got to suffer. There could be some suffering, just like he telling them folks about these tariffs. There's going to be some suffering going on, and hard thing to tell people, there's gonna be some suffering going on, and a lot of them believe in this man and what he's doing, even though he's a 34 count felon, he's a bankrupt, he's a 13 count bankruptcy. He done sold out to Atlantic City. He can't get every casino he done had in his country that went belly up. He had a casino up there in Chicago area that went belly up. He got a casino trying to get a casino over there in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas will damn you. We ain't giving you no daggone license because you ain't no businessman. And you don't pay people. He's a hard paymaster. But then he got there to tell you, you better buy a Tesla car because it's illegal for you not to buy it. Oh,
Well, all I gotta say is people is out there, they need to start planning for
they
this
better.
chaos
They
because
better. We
if
better
we
start
don't
planning for it. And
start
if
planning,
yeah, and if they haven't already started planning to you, woe is them.
yeah.
Well, man, you should have been. So that man got elected. You should have been planning for this crap.
Well, I look at it like this: if you have educators, I'm talking about black educators, and they know the writing is on the wall. They see it, they hear about it, the memos are coming and all of that. And as far as I'm concerned, they should be planning and going to their local churches or organizations and looking at the fact that this is going to come to pass. Somebody got to step up. These teachers are going to have to step up if you love teaching.
We have been known to do one thing horrible, and that is to wait until Plymouth Rock lands on us, and then we respond. We have to let Plymouth Rock hit us in the head before we respond.
Yep.
And that's what it seems like is going on. They want Plymouth Rock to hit them in the head, and then they'll wake up. Wow! Oh man, I didn't know this was coming. Yes, you did. You need to plan for this. That's just like I'm sitting here planning for it because I'm looking at this whole daggone thing. Now the rest of that stuff I can't deal with, but the Department of Education, there's some value and stuff in that. if you play your cards right, if you get out there and do the necessary evil and play your cards right and stuff, and just like these big white churches have been doing and stuff, you do the same daggone thing. We got right here, Ted, in this area where I live at, there's a church that has bought a huge tract of land. Huge tract of land. They tore down brand new homes to get this tract of land. And I got to believe that these folks and stuff in this church is getting ready to build them a school for these kids and stuff who was involved with their church. And they know that that money is coming to them. So they already planning for him to deliver the department, knocking the Department of Education completely out and getting that money and stuff to help them to run that daggone school for their kids. I always wondered and stuff why they did that, why they tell this stuff, why they put that church in there. And now it's coming to light. Hey, they getting ready. And I would bet, and I would tell money, I bet money right now that they're building a daggone church school there for their kids.
So the question is what is each community that's in the Black community, which are different locales throughout their county, what are they doing?
Right. We need to be doing the same thing. We need to be getting started and stuff with it because it's coming. If you don't want your kid to be into that public school and they're not getting anything, and so you can determine how your child is going to be educated. You got to, especially if they have a 501c3 charter.
And here's the thing. Now, they was playing the game and they'll let a few come into and if you can afford it, okay, Jasmine Crockett, I'm going to use her as an example. Her parents paid $35,000 to go from elementary to high school. Then she went to a high school and paid $55,000 a year. Private school, because she's the only child.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they paid for her education.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went to a private college.
Mm-hmm.
See, can everybody afford that?
Mm-mm. No way.
That's what I'm saying.
Every parent can't do that. No.
And some of these parents got 3-4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if these parents don't wake up when you're having babies, and these parents do not wake up and get involved and engaged and find out, like you just said, that rock is going to fall on their head and they're going to say, hey, my kid ain't got no place to go to school.
They got no place to go to school.
They close that school down.
Or they sending them to, like you just said, they gonna either close the school down or cut back on all the funding and damn it, all the funding to that school, and they won't have anything. They'll be sitting there in a daggone school and stuff that's falling apart, no books, no nothing, halfway paying the teachers and stuff, and gangs probably running into that daggone school and stuff, just destroying the place. That's what's getting ready to happen. And we're going to sit back and allow that stuff to happen. And then all we're going to do is complain. Why are they doing this to us? Our school is messed all up. Well, if you had got involved in this mess and everything, it wouldn't have gotten that way. But you can turn around and blame your government on it. Well, my government should have did that.
Well, I'm going to put it like this. Every one of these people have a state representative that represents them. Every one of these people have a U.S. congressperson that represents them. It is those Congress people and those state representatives to inform their constituents of what's going down and what they should be preparing themselves for. Everybody's not educated, Ed, to that level. Everybody's not educated. They need to be educated, and then these people should be getting these representatives should be engaged in not only in the community but with the business, the whatever little small businesses around there to be engaged in, because you're gonna need their support.
Well, first of all, you have a flawed fallacy in the first place. Though your representative that's up there in D.C. don't even want to talk to you. They're running away. We ain't having no town hall meetings. We don't want to talk to you. That's your first problem. And this is happening in white communities, not only black, white communities. We don't want to talk to you. So how do you state representative? He just sitting there and said we ain't gonna talk to you because their people is mad. So their leaders and stuff up there and in Congress and stuff are telling their representatives who complaining to them, well, they're hollering at me. Well, they're giving them the okay. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. It's all right. Don't talk to them. We okay
Well,
with that.
well, we need to come back to this because this is ridiculous, man.
Yep.
I mean, we have to figure out, you know, what is the plan for the black community as far as that goes? Because a lot of these people in Hillsborough County, I mean, there's something like 30,000, 50,000, I don't know how many thousands going to private school. They're not even going to public school.
Right. And they're the ones who were going to be getting that money first.
Because they got it all set up.
They're going to be the first one at that trough. We doing this.
And,
We
and
need
they
more
got
money.
and they got lay work. They got history.
Right.
Because they've already,
with their
and then the parents
with their
is
state government.
have been contributing because a lot of them have to pay tuition.
Right. And they're sitting up there telling their state representative, we're doing this with our kids, we're doing this with our kids, and we're doing that with our kids. We need more money. And they sitting down there, and the state going to say, okay, we're going to give you some more money because you got this stuff going on. Where if you're looking into those minority schools and everything, they sitting over there fighting gangs and stuff like that. So they're going to tell them, well, all the thing we're going to give you is your number amount of money. You got to deal with it. We're going to $4,500 a child. That's it. That's all you getting. You can't educate no child for no dime much for $4,500.
Well, there it is, folks. We done already laid it out. So if anybody that's listening and you come across this channel, you should be contacting somebody, leadership in your community, and finding out what are they going to do about your children's education.
And they need to start now, right the hell now. This man has already said, and if you can't see it right now, that he is taking that place, and the lady just got confirmed. She ain't been confirmed 2 weeks, and half that staff is gone.
You know what they did, Ed? I'm gonna tell you what they did. They faked an emergency bell, like something was going on in the building. So everybody got out. And when they tried to get back in,
The doors were locked.
back in. So, like you said, the writing is on the wall, bro.
Right on the wall. You better start dealing with this crap. It's on the wall. It's there. If you can't see it, I'm looking at it. I don't have no children going to the public school. I got some grandchildren that might be going, but I don't have any. I don't even have any grandchildren. Yes, I have one grandchild still in public education, and that's it.
Well, I got 4, and I was just thinking, and I haven't talked to one of my daughters as a school psychologist, and I'm sure she's concerned too as well. And then I got a son that has two kids, and he's, you know, but they don't have a problem, going to a private school.
Mm-hmm.
So because they was going to private school in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
when he lived in Georgia. So the bottom line is that wake up, wake
Hey,
up. Don't be sitting up
for
here
those
thinking that everything
for those
is
people
normal.
who cannot afford a private school, you better start thinking about what's going to happen with your child instead of just well, I'll wait and see what happens. You can't wait to see what happens. You need to sit there at that table and determine what's going to happen, and not let tell them what's going to happen. And you sit down. Oh, I don't like that. Well, where in the hell were you when we were planning this stuff? So now their kid's going to be a year or two behind. They're already behind already. They're going to be another year or two behind.
Well, see, here in Florida, right here in Hillsborough County, I can't say the whole state of Florida, but Hillsborough County, they have built probably in my area right here at least a half a dozen charter schools.
Hmm.
I don't know where they got the money to build those charter schools, but they got a bunch of them. I got a
Somebody,
grandson that's going to a charter school now
somebody is investing money, Ted, into those schools because
because
they
they know
know
they're gonna reap the
because they
reward.
know that it's going to be some money in that. They're going to get some money out of it. They're going to be the first ones sitting down there at their trough and stuff for that money. Yeah,
Well, they
yeah,
already arrested some people already.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And their thing and stuff is to educate your child and stuff and everything, and the proof comes into the pudding and stuff and everything. What's going to come out of that thing? I'm looking back at a girlfriend back in the '60s and stuff. Marva Collins, she had her private
I
school.
was thinking about her.
Yes, sir. She had her private school and did what she had to do to educate her children. Her children were top notch, daggone students coming out of out of her little old school.
A little old school.
Right. And it can happen and stuff now. They got the opportunity to be some more Marvel Collins and stuff down here. I don't know. I have no idea. It's all, and I don't know what's going to happen. And these people and stuff are sitting back there, and the first thing they want to do is complain. Even our representatives, even the Democratic representatives and stuff and everything, everybody complaining. But if your stuff is coming and you know it's coming and stuff, then you need, just like we're talking about, you're going to have to educate your people. This stuff is coming. What are you going to do about it?
But see, we're like the Paul Revere or the alarm system. We're warning you, telling you to prepare, telling you to plan, telling you to collaborate, to get together, to connect, to engage yourself. You know, hey, things ain't normal now. Things are not normal. Things ain't like they used to be. We had a good run. We had a good run. And even now, I wouldn't say it was a great run or anything like that because they still shortchanged a lot of our public schools. But it's going to be really downtrodden now. So we're alarming the people out there of all the steps that you got to take. Because number one, I'm going to say this in public schools, a lot of these public schools don't have music, they don't have PE,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have training as far as people that might want to train for certain skills like plumbing, electricity, and all that kind of stuff. You know, all of these things. Everybody don't want to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
but you can train these people to have life skills.
Mm-hmm.
Job skills. Everybody don't want to be a IT person or computer science.
Mm-hmm. I have to tell folks and stuff there that I learned a lot of the things that I use right now around my home. I learned that in at St. Anne High School.
Yeah,
I learned that in Mr. Griffin's class. I
Yep.
learned all that. He had us go through. We learned how to do basic electricity. We knew how to do basic plumbing. We learned how to do basic masonry, laying block and brick. Building, he used to have us, everybody come in there, and you had this project going on. Okay, I need this block to be laid. You guys lay that block and everything, and we're gonna come back tomorrow and I'm gonna grade you on how you laid that block. And we had a surveying course that we did. We had to learn how to survey, do a plot plan on the terrain and stuff from the school all the way out to past Gertine Road. So I understand about surveying. All that. He taught us that because I had to have I had all my prerequisites done, so I had to have another class and everything. So hey, let me go over and see Mr. Griffith. But that was the best thing I could have done. I learned all kinds of basic things. I can wire a house and stuff. I can put a switch in, a 3-way switch, 4-way switches in. I know how to do it.
Ed,
Yeah,
I did all that and I don't remember shit.
I remember. I remember because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. That's what
I
happened.
did
I
all that,
enjoyed it.
bro.
I
Because
enjoyed it.
I was in the Future Farmers of America with
You
Mr.
was
Griffin,
that. You was the FFA.
and he taught us all that stuff.
I remember everything he taught us, man. Matter of fact, I remember when I had to lay some blocks and stuff and everything. I had to tear that thing down about twice before I got it right.
Well, I had to do that for my grandmother, so I already knew how to
Yeah,
do
I
all
had to
that
learn
stuff.
how to I learned how to mix that mortar up and everything, and put the sand and the mortar and stuff in there, and how what happened and how that stuff seal up, and then lay that block and bricks too. We had to do bricks. Put a corner in. Put a cord in there so high, it had to be 4 foot high. And he measured. He measured the height of that thing. If it was off, that's how it was great. If you off, you was right on time was an A. If was you off a little bit was a B. You off a little bit more was a C. Anyway, Ted, final word, man.
Well, like I said, when you break it all down, from childcare to education, and you have to work part time, and because you got to do childcare, take care of your kids. You want a full time job, but you say, okay, well, I'll just work a part time job, or you have to adapt and work 3 to 11 or 11 to 7 because you don't have adequate childcare. You don't want to spend that $1,000 a month or $3,000 a month if you got 3 kids in daycare. So you just save that money and you take care of your 3 kids by yourself, and then they're not getting the proper elementary preschool training. Because basically that's what that's for when you go to preschool.
Mm-hmm.
That Head Start stuff. And then you be ready, that child is advanced. Soon as they get in kindergarten, they're ready to go to work. They're ready to do some stuff. They ain't sitting around playing games. They working, they doing stuff. Because once you hit that grade school, that elementary school, then it's that's when they find out how advanced you are. Can you read at 3 years old? Can you write your name? All those little things is important because you have been developing that child's brain to get them prepared to go to first grade. And once they get to first grade, it's on and popping. If your child is not up to par, they're gonna put them in a category. And that category might be the dunce hat. And that child is smart, but he wasn't trained or she wasn't trained properly. But they still put him in the dunce hat because you didn't teach that child how make sure that child know how to read back when they're 3 years old. They don't know their numbers. They don't know their alphabets. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna stop right there.
Yep. Okay. My thing is see spot run. Run, spot. Spot, run.
I'm just saying, man.
Hey,
Come
I
on.
remember that. Spot, see, spot, run.
I'm a stickler. See, I'm a stickler, bro. I used to be a stickler, man,
See,
for all
spot,
that,
run,
stuff,
spot,
bro.
run.
My kids was ready when they was in first grade. They was on and popping.
Hey man, you had to be. Anyway, people, we got to go here. It's time to go. We'll see you. And just please, folks, Plymouth Rock is falling. Y'all better, better get out the way.
It's damn near on your head now.
It's falling on you. Bye.